Welcome. This is Chrissy cooking at home, and surprisingly enough, I am Chrissy. Who would have thought? I know. But tonight, for a long day of many things with Logan and Millie, I have decided to go ahead and pickle watermelon rind. I've done this a few times before last summer, because if you saw any of my other videos, you know I'm still new to canning and pickling. I helped when I was a child with my mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, but a lot of it didn't stick because I was a kid and I just wanted to be out playing, and I was there prepping the food. So what I did, Logan loves watermelon. So I got this giant watermelon from Sam's Club, and I asked him to wait until I was ready to pickle the watermelon rind before he cut it and portioned up his baggies. Because he has diabetes. We need to portion control his carbs. So he did a good job. I peeled the watermelon, the green. I don't like the green part. He left a little bit of the pink, more on some than others, as you can see. But that's okay. He's still learning. He's 12 and he's doing great in the kitchen. So I'm going to cut these into about 1/2-inch pieces. I'm going to put them in wide mouth jars. I'm going to see how many quarts I can get before I move on to smaller jars. And then we will make the pickling brine. And these are going to be refrigerator pickles. And they're going to be kind of a sweet and spicy thing going on. I tried a few different recipes last summer. I liked aspects of each one, but I didn't like one as a whole. So this is what I like. I think I'm going to like as a whole. So it's going to be very simple. It's going to be sweet and spicy. And spicy, I mean like by peppers, not by cloves and ginger and cinnamon. I did not care for that at all. So let's get to cutting our watermelon and fill in our freshly washed clean jars. And then we will make the brine. So let's tilt ya. Now I'm not sure how well you can see. I am still learning how to use this vlog kit, as it was called in the store. So Logan's got this pretty good here. So I do want, oh wow. Just go in, and for some reason my cutting board's moving and it should not be. You may get a damp towel. I think we're going to get a damp towel. I cannot handle a moving cutting board. Be right back. Okay, my damp tea towel should keep it from moving on me. I don't know. I think it's warped. I think I've warped it. Okay. I'm going to cut this chunk in half. I'm not good at cutting evenly anymore. And after a long day, trimmers get a little worse. It's not really enough rind on this one. It's more watermelon. So we're going to set that aside. Okay. There. And I think now is a good time to break out that fast forward function. I got more rind than I was planning on. Woo. You can see my garbage is now full from all that. So we're going to make the brine for our rind. Hopefully this makes enough. I'm going off experience here. I have a feeling it's not going to be. So let's increase it, shall we? Cider vinegar. We are going to do 1 quart. Also known as 4 cups. Water, we're going to do 4 cups. So this is going to be sweet and spicy. Hint of salt. Can't see me, but you can see what's going on. So let's... Oh, good. I can bring it closer. Okay. You can still be in frame with the food, not with me. That's good. Put that next to leftovers from dinner before they get put away. Okay, so 1 quart each, water and cider vinegar. All right, so now we need our salt. We're going to do 1/4 cup of kosher salt. And since we upped it, we're going to add a tablespoon more of kosher salt. Okay. And if you've seen any of my other shows, episodes, videos, whatever, you know that this is my kosher salt, my witch's grade poison. So I'm going to put that off there. So then I can put that away. Then we're going to do our sugars. And yes, that's plural. We're going to do brown sugar and white sugar. And like I said, this is refrigerator pickles. So we're going to do 2 cups each. Because I am making 5 quarts of watermelon rind pickles. Okay? Sweet and spicy. And spice is not from cinnamon, cloves, ginger blend. Nope. Okay, so we got 2 cups brown. One cup white, and then 2 cups white. So I'm thinking one of the recipes I tried, the brown sugar was something I liked. It was unique. It was different. I did not care for the ones where you brine the pickles overnight in salt water solution. I did not care for the ones where you water bath can them either. It's just too soft and mushy. I wanted crunchy. So we're going to try our hand at refrigerator type. So we need, what I have here is oak wood smoked peppercorns. Okay, I love these things for all kinds of cooking. We're going to do 2 tablespoons. All right. I got this at my local Price Chopper. Not sure if other stores carry it, but it is McCormick, you know, a national brand. We're going to do half tablespoon, half tablespoon red pepper flakes. Okay. Did I say spicy? And I do want some dill in there. I'm not sure why. This might end up being a huge failure, but half a tablespoon of dried dill. And that's it. Now we got that going. Let me get my whisk because I did not grab it because that was silly. Whisk, where are you? Where are you hiding? There you are. Okay. So we're going to bring this to a boil. Dissolve it. Let it sit. Kind of steep for a bit. Did I mention it was going to be spicy? Sweet and spicy. Yay! This might end up being a huge failure. I don't know. But I want these to sit in the fridge for about 5 days or so. But I will be tasting them every day until I think they are ready. If they're even going to be edible. I don't know if they're going to be edible. I have made the first 2 batches I found were inedible from the salt water overnight brine. And I tried everything to leach that salt out of it. And nothing worked. So we're going to bring this to a boil. We're going to dissolve our sugars and our salt. Soften our spice. I like the smell already. This is a combination of several people's recipes. I would credit those people, but I do not know who they are. A lot of people do the same recipes as everybody else, so there's that. And heck, what do I know? Somebody else might have already thought of it this way. I don't know. There's just so much out there, and with the internets and the World Wide Web and the social media platforms, we are bombarded with so much information, and the information at our fingertips is a blessing and a curse. And I wouldn't change it for the world, because man, does it make homeschooling Logan so much easier. I can't imagine trying to homeschool him before the age of computers and Google, because, you know, like I said, I'm 40, and as a junior high and high school student in the mid to late 90s, yeah, we were getting computer experience and getting some internet experience, but it's nothing like today. Nothing like today. That's for sure. Especially the equipment. I mean, my laptop that I edit this stuff on, man, it's so small and powerful compared to other stuff, you know what I mean? I'm rambling. I'm tired. I'm sorry, y'all. Alright, I'm going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to let it simmer for a while. Now's a good time to fast forward, right? And we're back. I paused the video instead of doing a fast forward through the waiting for the brine to come to a boil, because I needed to take my blood pressure. I could feel it dropping. So this sat and cooled for a little while after it came to a boil. A little longer than I was expecting. So it's just slightly above room temp now. The central air is going, so it looks like it's really hot. But I digress. We're going to fill up our 5 quarts here and hope there's enough brine, because I don't think I can make it to make another brine. If there's not enough brine for all 5, I will make another batch just the way I did it tomorrow. I'll just put the unbrined ones in the fridge and just make sure I correctly date my pickles to know that one was pickling started tonight and the rest was starting pickling tomorrow. So I think there's enough for one more. Maybe I'll get enough to do all 5. We'll find out together, shall we? I just had to wait for my blood pressure to come back up to a safe, I think we have enough, a safe number to stand and do this. not grab my debubbler. I should debubble. I have a little bit of liquid left over, not a whole ton. We're going to debubble. Now I've got two things. Standard one that comes with your canning kit supplies that you normally get. And then this is just a chopstick that I have laying around from a wok that I bought years and years and years ago. So I'm debubbling so that way I make sure I have plenty of brine in there. Because if I can fit more, I will. Chopstick's working great. So we're not going to use the other one. Oof, this one has lots of air. Watch that brine go down. So, we get these debubbled a little bit more. Get in there. Okay. Don't remember if I did this one over here, so. And then I'm not going to eat all these, and I know that my sweetheart's not going to touch them. I highly doubt Logan will be venturous and touch them. So I'm going to try to give away to venturous friends. Okay, we have just a teeny weeny bit brine left over. We're doing about a 1/2 inch headspace. Grab the meter. We're going to screw these on super tight. Because we're going to put them in the fridge upside down. So the first thing that gets pickled is the ones on top. So you want these super tight. Not finger tight. You want them super duper tight. As tight as you can do it.
Mommy?
Okay, we're going to try and pick up where we left off to the next day. And Logan finished the pickles for me. He tightened a jar and then put them all in the refrigerator upside down. And what had happened is my blood pressure dropped really low, really fast. I mean, pretty sudden for that one. I've had it before where it's been sudden. And if you've seen any of my recent videos, you'll notice that I'm wearing a Holter heart monitor. It's right here. I don't have it anymore. I wore it for 2 weeks and then mailed it in. So doctors are attempting slowly to figure out what's going on and how to help me. But I did not lose consciousness when I went down. I just couldn't stand anymore. Dizzy, lightheaded, weak. Couldn't breathe. Palpitations. Really hard to keep my eyes open. It makes me extremely sleepy when my blood pressure drops. So I laid on the floor for about half an hour and took my blood pressure every 5 minutes. And it got a little skosh higher that I felt comfortable enough crawling to my bedroom and climbing into bed. It was 80 something, like 82 over 38. And that is really low. It's not the lowest I've ever been. I've been lower. And at appointments it has been caught before. when I was pregnant. So I'm not pregnant anymore. The blood pressure drops are happening much more frequently. The Holter monitor was on for 14 days, and in 14 days I pushed that button 31 times. I had to log 31 times in a little book, plus I made photocopies of it I needed extra paper to log symptoms at time, date, and what I was doing when it came on. And I did notice there is no pattern. Does not matter time of day. Does not matter if I took any of my medications yet, like in the evening if I'd taken them yet. In the morning, I had one where I didn't even get out of bed yet, and I woke up that way. I have woken up in the middle of the night with symptoms. So, this morning I tasted the pickles, and they were, I liked the brine, but didn't care for the texture. It was very hard, chewy, tough. So, yeah, gotta figure that out. I hope that the doctors figure it out quickly and help me quickly, because it's scary for me and for my family. But I thought about editing out what happened, but that's not real life, and kind of want to show you real life. I've been talking about life in some of my videos, so right now I'm just tired and I want to take a nap, and it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so we'll see what I get done today. Just do my best, really. Okay, I'm back. Surprise! Okay, so we're not done with our pickled watermelon rinds. No. It only been 12 hours, but I tasted one to see if I was even going to like the brine. Because if I didn't like the brine, I was not going to keep them going in the fridge. I was going to toss them and use my jars for something else. I like the brine a lot. But the rind on this watermelon happens to be extremely chewy and tough. So I am going to water bath can these. And I did a lot of looking through the National Center for Home Food Preservation. For watermelon pickles, they have only times listed for pints. So I looked up pickles. And they had times listed for pints and quarts, and it was the exact same time. And the exact same time as just the pints for the watermelon rind pickles. So I'm going to water bath can. I'm using my Muromatic pre-January 1983 Muromatic. It's older than I am, and I'm 40, so. So anyways, I don't know exactly what year, I just know it was before 1983, and I learned that through getting the gasket, the seal, the rubber seal. So I pulled all the pickles out of the fridge. I let them come up to room temp for a while, and now I have them sitting in, let me touch you down. I got this really deep skillet. Okay, can you see the deep skillet here? And then I put one of my metal trays from, can you see the metal tray? From the Muromatic in here. The other one's in here as this is coming up to a boil. And this is just set on top, not anywhere near ceiling, because we are not pressure canning, we are water bath canning. But it's tall enough to handle and big enough to handle my pickles. And I wanted it to be able to handle my pickles. It's taller than my water bath canner. I need to look at how much water we need to have. So I'm trying to get the lids off, the bands off. Oh, don't do that, Chrissy, don't do that. Too late, did that. Okay. That metal plate thing there was making a run for it. Alright. So I'm trying to get the bands off. Why am I getting the bands off? Because I screwed them on super freaking flippin' tight. And we're canning, which means no, fingertip tight, right? Done any canning before? Done any research in canning? Videos on canning? Fingertip tight. That's still in place. Now, I know I have a habit of looking like it's, like I'm cranking her on there, but I'm really not. I might have to have my sweetheart open these. Get off. Start fresh. Can't do it anymore with the finger. One quick little turn. I just do not have the hand, wrist, arm strength to get these open easily. I can do it so far. Okay. I can't move it anymore with my finger. One quick little. Do not want this too tight. I do not want my lids buckling. Because I worry with when I do it too tight, and I've had lids buckle, I worry that I won't get a seal because it buckled. So definitely don't want to risk it. Plate back in there. And I did the plate because I don't want the jars touching straight on the bottom. Just like you do a plate or rack in the bottom of your water bath canner or your pressure canner, because you do not want them touching the bottom. Love the flavor. Alright, I have to look again. I believe for quarts at my altitude was 20 minutes, for sure. Love the flavor. Spicy, sweet, sour. Hits all the notes except for that texture. I don't care for the texture. And that's the rind itself. Since I'm not hot packing these because I was hoping to do refrigerator pickles, I need to get them hot so we don't have thermodynamic shock. I'm talking to you and you can't even see me. Alright, I'm still chewing that watermelon rind. Love the flavor. Oh my god, that hint of dill in the back of your palate is so nice because the heat is up front. From the red pepper flakes and the smoke, oak smoked black peppercorns. So we will get this up to temperature. So it's nice and hot where I can't touch the jar anymore. And then hopefully this will be boiling soon, which no it won't. It's full because I want it really above. I believe it was, I have to look again. Don't quote me. Do your research. I'm going to look. I think it was an inch or two. I need to look it up again. I just looked at it too. Of water above your jars, you know. I haven't pickled in a long time because of being on bed rest, but I'm sorry I'm not looking at the actual camera lens. I keep looking over here at my face. And that's going to be pretty annoying for you, and I apologize. I will try my best to do better. I'm still very new at this. So it's weird talking to this little hole. You know, the front-facing part of your camera, the little tiny hole at the top, that is your camera, for your front-facing camera. That's what I'm using. It's weird just to look at that. Just focus on that little tiny circle, not my face. We'll be back. So, after reading up on watermelon rind pickling from the Alphabet Company, I remembered that I never cleaned my rems because they were watermelon pickles. I wasn't thinking about a seal. Sorry, the Canadian wildfire smoke's getting to me. So I took off all the rings and the lids, and I threw the rings in the sink to be washed because they never processed. They're fine. And I pulled out 5 fresh wide mouth quart lids, and I wiped the rims with white vinegar and vinegar from Sam's Club. Got the rings back on. They lost a little bit of heat. Had them out. So let's crank this bad boy up. And they're not super cold. I think they might be okay if they went in vinegar picked up. If they went in the canner, which I believe is boiling now. Let's pop off these lids. Lid. Yes. Got a mother trucker. I have it on medium too. I read 1 inch above, 1 inch of water above your quart jars. So honestly, they are hot enough. I don't think I'm going to cause thermodynamic shock. If I'm wrong, I will kick myself. Okay. No, leave the center one. Ooh, I think that's too much water. That was looking like 2 inches. Looking like up to the very top of the pot. Which you can kind of see the water there. Alright, let's get something to scoop out water. And once that gets boiling, we're going to have it slowed down on its boil when I started putting jars in. We only need 1 inch. Almost to the inch mark. I marked it on the inside of the pot because I put the jars in earlier to see how much water I needed, and I thought, well, I'll add extra in case I lose some in bringing it up to boil. Well, that lid did a really good job of not letting it escape. Okay, starting to boil again. Sorry, we gotta get it boiling, and then we'll start our time. So, at my altitude, because I'm above at my house, I am above 1,000 feet. So, doing 15 minutes on those. And then I will put them on this. I made this. I crocheted this. It's double-sided. I made these 2 squares. You see, kind of see the slightly different colors. This is a bright pink. This is a dark red. Crocheted this, sewed it together, and using it as my pad to put down. Because I measured it to fit perfectly on this counter on the other side of the counter here. To put a few jars on, it will hold 5 for sure without them touching each other. Yeah. While I was getting new lids for the jars, I did get out the measure to make sure it was a 1/2 inch headspace still. I'm not looking at you again, I'm so sorry. To make sure the headspace was still a 1/2 inch since we are water bath canning. I did a 1/2 inch last night just because it sounded good to go ahead and do that for the refrigerator pickles as well. So I bet putting this in the fridge overnight, which I'm probably going to do next time, just do it put it all in a big container, or throw it all in the pot that I used to make the brine, and let it sit overnight in the refrigerator, and then water bath can it. I wonder if that will make those flavors definitely develop faster than waiting for your pickles to pickle. Pickles can take a while. I know the refrigerator pickles, sometimes you can start eating those within like 4 or 5 days if you can wait that long. Sometimes the next day you start munching on your pickles. We shall see. I hear something besides Nellie fussing in her sleep. I hear something. Close. Close, close, close. So I'm not letting this seal, the rubber gasket, touch the pot. I am keeping it so it stays metal to metal and steam can escape and not build up pressure, because we're not pressure canning. So I'm going to process this for 15 minutes, and then I will bring you back after I pull them out, see how they look, because you saw how they looked out of the fridge after sitting in the fridge all night. We'll see. I'll bring you back. Okay, here are the watermelon rind pickles fresh out of the water bath canner. I haven't had any pings yet, but I do see the bubbles, coming up from all over. Especially this one. I did have an issue. Something weird happened. Never happened to me before in a water bath canner. Liquid completely siphoned out of that jar. It was floating. That jar was floating in the water bath canner. Totally weird. Let me move. Look at that. How weird. I mean, there's a little liquid. You can kind of see. Ouch. It's about here. So, guess stick that one in the fridge no matter if it seals or not and start munching away. But that's that. Let me see me better. See everything better. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a break, and then I gotta make lunch and fold Nellie's laundry. So lunch today is a video I've already made: ricotta, gnocchi, in a mustard cream sauce. And then I'm gonna make grilled chicken in a cast iron grill pan, because I'm not grilling outside in this smoke from the Canadian wildfires. It's hard enough breathing in the house, so. And I don't have a respiratory issue, ever. Okay, until next time.